Barbara Jean. I want to thank you for taking the time to meet with me. I'm really interested to get to know more about you and the position that you're in. So I know you are currently the assistant principal at Martha's Vineyard Regional High School, as well as the career and technical education director. So can you talk a bit about your current two positions and how you take on the challenge of juggling both?
Sure, I'd love to. I'd like first to start a little bit about my background, if
Yeah.
that would be okay with you. So I I didn't take a traditional path to get here.
Mhm.
So I graduated high school quite a while ago now, but I graduated from a tech school, and that really set me up to have a lot of options.
Mm.
I was able to have some really good skills that afforded me to have the ability to pay for my college.
Right.
So although I didn't take the traditional college route because I did it at night while I was working, I graduated without any debt. It took me
Wow.
longer,
Yep.
um, but I was able to manage my skills
Yep.
that I had learned in high school and evolve that to help me manage my debt and then eventually what happened was I became a teacher of graphics, and that
Okay.
was my trade. So
Wow.
I was able to combine my skills as an educator with my skills as a graphic designer.
Right.
So
Right.
that really was exciting for me, and I was really jazzed about it for my whole teaching career. In
Right.
fact, even now, many years later, and I've been an administrator now for about 12 or 13 years,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still an educator.
Sure.
And I've never really left the classroom. My
Mm-hmm.
classroom just has changed.
Yeah.
So instead of being me teaching my craft
Mm-hmm.
to young people, I'm now teaching the craft of teaching to
Right.
adults.
True. True.
And
Right.
along the way, I get to mentor adults, I get to mentor young people. I help them to start to think about what that next step looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always said to the young people that I work with, it's not about always being on the same path or taking a road that you can never get off of. It's about having a plan to get started on.
Mm, very true. Very true.
So
I like that.
often, so often, the young people think that they have to make a decision for the rest of their lives.
Right.
And
Right.
that's not the case. And it wasn't the case for me.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
did go to college. I actually thought that I would be a math teacher. I
Oh,
thought
okay.
I would either be engineering or a math teacher.
Okay.
And the teaching part kept,
Yep.
but I really fell back on my graphics roots. And I enjoyed that. And I was in the classroom for 20 years.
Okay.
And
Wow.
I loved it. But at some point, I said, you know what? I want to be able to start making decisions that affect students beyond my classroom.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that was at that point, I made the decision to go into administration.
Gotcha.
So, along the way, I earned my bachelor's degree, I earned two master's degrees, and I just finished my doctorate
That's
in
amazing.
curriculum instruction. So my point is, it's not this hurry up and get it done in 4 years.
Right.
It can evolve over time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just a little bit about my background, and I hope that that helps young people to see that
Yeah.
one thing can turn into something else.
Definitely.
Um,
Definitely.
so before I came to the Vineyard,
Yeah.
um, I actually taught at the high school that I graduated from.
Oh, okay.
My actual first teaching position was in the city of Attleboro. I taught at Attleboro High School for a few years.
Okay.
And then when the position opened up at the high school that I went to school at,
Yeah.
I moved over and I was there
Wow.
for almost 20 years. So it was, that was really cool. And when I went back, most of the teachers that I had as a student was still
Mm.
there. So that was really cool.
That's so unique. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was really good. And I think it helped to connect with students because they could see
Definitely.
that I was walking the talk. I wasn't just telling them something that I hadn't lived.
Definitely.
So that was really great.
Right. Right.
Um, and so in terms of preparing me for the job that I'm in
Mm.
now, I was an administrator at a couple of schools in Massachusetts before I came here.
Okay.
Um, Most of that time was focused just on the CTE directorship side of things.
Okay.
One of those positions slid into the assistant principal side.
Okay.
So when I originally came here, there was the anticipation of a retirement. So I was being brought in as the CTE director, and then I knew it was going to evolve into the combination position, and it did. And that's where I'm at. So much of what I do overlaps one with the other that I see them as one position.
Okay.
I don't see them as two distinct positions.
Yeah.
However, the CTE side of things, I would say, is more than 50%. At the end of the day, it's all about students, it's all about instruction, and it's all about programming.
Right.
So it really is a seamless crossover in terms of the two. So I also have a lot of responsibilities on the, I'll say the business of school. I do a lot with budgeting. I do a lot with the facility. So a lot of my responsibilities are very varied.
Gotcha.
I take care of the attendance and MCAS and reporting. And so we have that business side of things too.
Right.
So I would say to young people that don't see themselves as, say, a teacher,
yeah,
there's many, many, many aspects of education that may be interesting
right.
to them, whether it be finance and business, whether it be data mining and interpretation. There's also the medical side of things in terms of occupational therapy, physical therapy. So all of those pieces come in too. So it's not just about being the teacher in the classroom.
Right. So
it's really great. So
it's almost like it's not a challenge to juggle both positions, because since they both seem to overlap so much, and similar responsibilities. So that's kind of helpful too.
Yeah. So I get to use a lot of different parts of my brain.
Yeah, definitely.
And I get to develop a lot of different, develop and practice a lot of different skill sets. I've learned a lot. Every day I try to take something away from the day.
Yeah.
And learn something.
I like that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of networking, I know you've done an exceptional job networking with your community and taking the internship program to the next level. Can you talk a bit about how you've done that?
Well, it's all about the relationships and relationship building. It's not always easy.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of hard work. And it takes a lot of just figuring out how to get people to know you. They want to know, what are you all about? And again, it's that relationship building.
Right.
And trying to see how your network can evolve and really be purposeful about your networking. And sometimes I think we have many different types of networks.
Yes.
And with overlapping, certainly, but we have different networks for different reasons.
Right.
We have our family network, our social network, our professional network, and somewhere along the line, there's those intersections.
Right.
And I think that's what's important in terms of the networking.
Right.
I also think that when we're networking, it's always a give and take. We can't be always reaching out to folks when we want something or need something.
Right. True.
We should create those opportunities to check in, just to check in. And so it's a back and forth.
Yeah.
So.
And now too, despite the distance, I know you've made every effort to engage with us here at the Workforce Board, and you've been an extremely active participant, and we're greatly appreciative of that. So with all your other duties that come with your job, how do you find time to do this?
I think it's like anything. You have to schedule it in. You got to put it on the calendar and make it happen. And you have to set your priorities and determine what's important. So my relationship with the Workforce Development Board directly impacts students. So therefore, it's a priority. We are able to provide them with experiences that we wouldn't be able to provide them especially given our geographic location. But knowing that these opportunities exist, we're able to then let students know, figure out the transportation and make it happen. And we can make that planning happen.
Now, also, you've talked about, the impact that both us at the Workforce Board and in your current role that you have on young adults. So we also talk about inspiring young adults. So do you find that in your role too?
I do. I think to inspire young adults to really work on the things that are strengths for them, recognize what they also have to work on in terms of the challenges that they face, but
Right,
really capitalize and put their energy into the things that they're good at. Because
right.
if they enjoy their day-to-day living and their
Hmm.
working lives,
Hmm.
I see success in that.
Yeah,
I don't think it matters what the job is or what your title is or how much money you make. I think it's
right.
whether you enjoy what you're doing and
Definitely.
having that good work life balance.
Right. You also mentioned a bit about mentorship. Did you have a mentor growing up? Do you find an importance about mentorship, if you don't mind touching upon that too?
Yeah, so I think mentorships are important,
Yeah.
and my background is a little different than mentorships. During that time, I'll say when I was a student,
Yeah.
we had what we had cooperative education, what is known as
Hmm.
co-op. So as a senior in high school, I went to my job.
Hmm.
And then I came to school for my academics.
Gotcha.
So I believe in it. So
Yes.
that was one phase or generation of
Right.
work-based learning.
Hmm.
And now that work-based learning has evolved in a good way
Right.
for different kinds of experiences.
Right.
So here in the Vineyard, we're able to provide students with, I'll say, paid positions
Hmm.
because the local employer has a position that they're able to offer the students, or the
Right.
student has already worked with the person for a while, so they just
Right.
continue that job. We also have an opportunity, especially for our folks that are aspiring to be educators,
Hmm.
that we are able to provide mentorships and internships within our local public school
Right.
in the K-8 system.
Hmm.
Um, we have students who are capitalizing on the mentorship work study program for financial need.
Okay.
It's
Hmm.
their way of balancing what they need and their academic studies. So
Right.
it's propelling them towards graduation. So
Wow.
there, this because of COVID, our program has been shortened,
Hmm.
but in a typical year, where we have 30 or so students that are working through the program, which is a great number. When you think about, we have 350, so about 10% of our population is participating in some type of work-based learning.
Cool. Wow.
So we also have, not only, we are a comprehensive school, so not only do we have students that are just trying out mentorships for different reasons, we
Hmm.
also have our Chapter 74 programs, and
Hmm.
those students are eligible for co-op positions,
Okay.
which is different because they go right into skilled employment. And
Right.
we also have externship with our health assisting students. They're working on their clinical
Right.
experiences towards their certification.
Gotcha.
Last year, we had one of our seniors worked at the hospital throughout the summer until she went to school
Hmm.
as a certified nurse assistant.
Okay.
Because she was certified and she was able to use her training here and her certifications that she was able to earn here in high school within the community. So that's
Wow.
really great.
That is
And we
great.
were able to use the support of the Workforce Development Board to offer those certifications. So
That's
it's really been a
fantastic.
win-win.
Yeah, I think all the opportunities that you mentioned that the students have, it's again a great opportunity for not only to get that hands-on experience, but also possibly gain a mentor through the experience as well. So
Hmm.
that's
Hmm.
awesome.
Yeah.
Um, my wrap-up question, Barbara Jean, would be, can you talk about what you find most unique about living on the island?
I think the biggest piece for me is there's there's a really great work-life balance here. The vibe is a little more laid back.
Hmm.
Even on the Cape, I've never lived on the Cape, but I have extensively been there extensively,
Yeah.
and the laid backness is even more so,
Hmm.
and that's really great.
Yeah.
Sure, I have evening meetings, but it's not like when I was on the mainland and I had a lot of late meetings.
Right.
It's not like that here.
Right.
So there's a love for life.
Yeah.
We're able to have a great inside outside lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
The weather is much more mild, so
Mm-hmm.
we're able to experience the outside
Right.
much more than we did on the mainland.
Gotcha.
I'm here with my husband and my four-legged friend.
Oh.
And no, we really find, to go out for a walk.
Yeah.
We do it here often.
Mm-hmm.
That's something we thought about doing when we lived on the mainland.
Right. Right. Right.
The difference or the challenge is the planning.
Gotcha.
For me to buy a couch is not quite so easy.
True.
If I'm going
Yeah.
to go to Jordan's or something on the mainland to buy a couch, I
Right.
have to really plan that out.
Right. That's very true. I never thought of that much.
Yeah, so we do a lot of mail order here.
Yep.
Someone said to me very early on that Amazon would be my best friend. Well, they're exactly correct. Amazon is my best friend.
Oh yeah.
So planning is different. You just have
Yep.
to much more planning than when I
Mhm.
lived on the other side. You don't have the spontaneity of those purchases,
Yep. Yeah.
for good or for bad.
Yeah.
But everything that you need is here. You
Right.
might not be exactly what you want,
Yeah.
but if you
But
need
it's
something,
there.
it's here.
Right.
So
That's
it's really
awesome.
great. It's
That's
great.
so cool. That's so
Yeah.
cool. Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to meet with me. I know the guidance, advice, and the insight you've given will be a great resource to all the students. So I thank you.
Thank you, Samantha, and
You're
I look
welcome.
forward to talking to you again.
Yes. Thank you so much, Barbara Jean. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yes, have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.